Now, doing custom animations can sometimes be a lot of work, even if you're using jQuery, because the jQuery APIs are just the native APIs and sort of a baseline for what you can use. Utilizing third-party libraries can make animating easier, depending on what you're doing. For example, with easing, we have the ability to change the flow of how an animation works. jQuery has some easing functions, but there are additional easing functions that are available through third-party libraries. Same thing with stringing together animations. When you want one animation to happen after another one, jQuery can do this, but the delay plugin makes it easier to string animations together. Let's take a look at not only how we can apply easing, but also how we can create custom animations in our web applications. In this example, we're going to animate a scene. Objects animating after each other to kind of build this look in the web browser. Before we do the animation, I want to talk a little about easing. For people who don't come from an animation background, easing can sometimes be confusing because there are a lot of options. Easing is the way that an animation plays. I might tell an animation to play from an x value of 0 to an x value of 100. But easing will indicate how fast animation plays in the different parts of the entire animation. For example, linear easing. The upper left corner. If you watch this animation, it's a very consistent animation. It's playing the exact same speed from start to finish. So it animates up at the exact same speed and animates down at the exact same speed. Let's look at an extreme, like bounce. Notice the bounce animation will do the exact same type of animation, but the object bounces its way up and then bounces its way back down. The animation is playing the same distance. It's going from bottom to top and top to bottom, but it's just playing the animation differently. Let's look at an elastic example. Notice the animation will sort of rubber band at the top and rubber band at the bottom, sort of like it's elastic. So easing changes the way the animation plays. It might play slower at the beginning, faster at the end. It might play a bounce at the beginning or a bounce at the end. You'll notice many of these easing functions here have ease in or ease out. In simply means the easing occurs at the beginning of the animation. Out means it's at the end. So let's look at bounce again. If I test ease in bounce, notice the animation bounces at the beginning of each leg versus ease out bounce, which does the bounce at the end of the animation. Choosing an easing really depends on the look you want with your animation. Most of the time, the default easing is good enough to use for your animations.